Welcome to Property Chat with Pete. Thank you so much once again for joining me. Today's podcast will be talking about negative gearing. What is negative gearing and why is it that property investors in Australia love it so much? Okay, we'll jump straight into it. So negative gearing, quite simply put, is a tool that has been made available to investors where they can actually spend more money on the property that they own than they are making. That means that they are negatively gearing the property. That means they're not making any money on the property at all. And that gap, that negative gap between what they would make versus what they spend, that is called a negatively geared proportion. And in property investment, the great thing that you have in Australia and not many other countries is that you can actually get some rebates on that negatively geared property and you can make your money back essentially. So that's a really good incentive for investors, especially even if they are potentially paying more money into the property through their interest rate that may be rising, or whether the land tax has gone up, whatever changes may have happened, and they potentially could have increased the rent but has not covered their necessary expenses. That is a negatively geared property. Okay, now people who actually invest in negatively geared property or invest in a property that they know is negatively geared generally do so because they essentially want to use the capital growth of that property potentially to make their money back in the long term, whilst not having any issues with paying any money into the property during the course of the year up until when the financial year ends, when you can then claim back that negatively geared proportion. Okay, that means obviously that during the course of the year you will need to be in a position where you can actually top up your repayments on your loan and ensure that you cover the fees and the charges and the taxes and whatever needs to be made for the property manager, maintenance, etc., that you have enough money available to do so that when it comes to the end of the year, you can then provide your accountant with the necessary documentation and information to say this is what I've paid versus this is what I've made. Then that will negatively offset that investment and give you a return from the tax or from an accountant itself working that out for you. Again, I'm not an accountant. This is not financial advice, but that is what negative gearing is. I hope that's given you some sort of idea as to what negative gearing is. And please remember that if you do need any accounting advice or professional advice, feel free to go to my website, peterharleyconsulting.com. Reach out to me via my form so that I can get one of the professionals on my group of network of professionals to actually assist you in your property buying, selling, investing, developing journey, and make sure that you're doing it right. Thank you for tuning in once again. All the best.